All right, let's talk about Excel. Have you ever found yourself just staring at a spreadsheet, totally lost? Maybe you're hunting for the right formula or just drowning in rows of data. Well, you're in the right place because today we're diving into something that's totally flipping the script on how we use Excel. We're going to see how all those tedious jobs can become as simple as having a chat. I mean, just think about that for a second. An Excel that actually gets you. You tell it what to do in plain, simple English, and poof, it just does it. Well, that's not some far-off dream anymore. It's here, and it's called Copilot. So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with what Copilot actually is and how to get it up and running. Then we'll get into the good stuff. Watching it handle everyday chores, build formulas for us, and pull out amazing insights from our data. And trust me, you'll want to stick around for the end because we're going to look at its most powerful feature. All right, first step. What exactly is this thing? Well, put simply, Copilot is your own personal AI assistant that lives right inside the Excel you already know and use. It's not some separate app. It's right there in the Home tab, waiting to help out. Now, the key word you need to remember here is context. This is not just some generic chatbot. Copilot is smart enough to understand the exact data you're working with. It's like having a partner sitting next to you looking at the same spreadsheet who actually knows what's in your columns and headers. Okay, before we can get to all the cool stuff, there are a few things you've got to get right first. Nailing these setup steps is absolutely essential for making sure everything works smoothly. There are basically three non-negotiables. First, you need the right subscription. That's Microsoft 365 plus the Copilot license. Second, and I can't stress this enough, your Excel file has to be saved in the cloud. That means OneDrive or SharePoint with autosave turned on. And third, for the best performance, you've got to format your data as an official Excel table. Just select your data and hit Control+T. This gives Copilot that nice structured grid that it absolutely loves. All right, setup's out of the way. Now for the fun part. Let's see how Copilot can just wipe out all those boring, repetitive tasks that usually eat up half our day. This is really where the magic starts. Instead of clicking through a dozen menus, you just ask. You type, make the header row blue and bold. And boom, it's done. You say, sort this by the highest total, and it happens instantly. Got messy data with misspelled city names? Just tell it to clean them up. All that tedious stuff is now handled for you. Okay, let's talk about what might just be the biggest game changer of all, formulas. If you've ever felt that pit in your stomach when someone mentions VLOOKUP or nested functions, then this next part is for you. I mean, just look at this. It says it all, right? You just describe what you want to do in plain English, and Copilot spits out the perfect formula. But here's the kicker. It's not just a cheat code, it's a learning tool. You can actually ask it to explain how that formula works, so you get better at Excel while you're working. And it doesn't just stop there. You can ask it to create totally new columns, like calculating profit or projecting sales with a 3% bump. But this is where it gets a little bit mind-blowing. It can analyze your table and suggest new formula columns you might not have even thought of, helping you find insights you didn't know were there. So we've cleaned up our data, we've got our formulas in, but what does it all mean? This is where Copilot stops being just an assistant and starts acting like your own personal data analyst, helping you find the story hiding in the numbers. This is a total paradigm shift. Instead of spending 10 minutes building a pivot table to find an answer, you can now just ask your spreadsheet a direct question. It completely changes data analysis from a chore into a conversation. And just like that, there's your answer. A clean, simple table that tells you exactly what you need to know. That gap between having a question and finding the answer, it's just gone. The barrier has been completely removed. You know, numbers in a table are great, but sometimes you really need a picture to understand what's going on. Well, it's the exact same idea. You don't have to fight with the chart menus anymore. You just describe what you want to see. And there you have it, a perfect bar chart created instantly. It can do pie charts, pivot tables, you name it. It can even build you a mini dashboard on a completely new sheet, all from one single prompt. It's just incredibly powerful. Okay, so we've seen it handle formatting, formulas, and analysis, which is already pretty amazing, but we've saved the best for last. This is where Copilot evolves into a genuine data superpower. Microsoft calls this Edit with Copilot, and it's a whole new level. See, everything we've done so far is giving it one instruction at a time. This is different. This is like giving it a whole project. You could say something huge like, analyze all my sales data and build me a dashboard that shows the key trends. Copilot will then actually create a plan, clean the data, make the charts, build the layout, and deliver a finished product, all from that one big request.
So that's Copilot in Excel. It really transforms your spreadsheet from this static, intimidating grid of numbers into a dynamic partner you can actually talk to. It lowers the barrier to entry so that anyone, not just the Excel wizards, can ask questions of their data, understand it, and find its hidden potential. So really the only question left is, what are you going to ask first?